Breaking news, I get on Twitter and I see, why is Atlas Shrugged trending on Twitter? Finally, we have had a transformation and a revolution, and everyone is out there reading Ayn Rand. That's really a bunch of people giving Aaron Rodgers crap for pointing out the fact that he had Atlas Shrugged on his bookshelf. Has he ever read it? I have no idea. I think probably half the people who have that book haven't actually read it. They just have it so they can say that they have it. I've got it in my Audible. Never listened to the darn thing. It's like freaking 90 hours long. I don't have time to do that. So anyway, Charlie, tell us about this story about your favorite quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Why is he my favorite? He's a good quarterback.
He is good.
Yeah.
He's
beat the Cowboys plenty of times in the playoffs.
But as you'll see from some blue check marks here, they need to go ahead and cut him now because of this.
All right, this coming from the Blaze. Thanks, Glenn. Such a nice guy. Just
and sending us content all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Leftists lose it after Aaron Rodgers says Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged is on his bookshelf. Quote, trade him. It.
I need a bleep button.
That's a quote from the article title. I can't believe Glenn used the F word. Honestly, it probably goes against his Mormon beliefs. But anyway, from the moment he called out politicians who don't obey their own COVID-19 mandates a year ago to his more recent takedowns of the woke mob and cancel culture, particularly with regard to vaccines, and his revelation that he consulted with podcaster Joe Rogan for COVID-19 treatment after contracting the virus a few months ago, the free-thinking Rodgers has been rising fast on the left's most hated list.
That is a reason to be hated. Consulting Joe Rogan for medical advice. I mean, who goes to Rogan?
By the way, I
for
sent
that,
you a screenshot today.
Oh yeah,
the quarter four numbers of 2021 for media. Joe Rogan smashes everyone by
everyone.
What was the next closest one to him was Tucker Carlson, and he has 4 times as many downloads as Tucker Carlson.
As many viewers.
As many
listeners. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's insane.
He's got like more listeners than all of CNN combined, which is good. We should feel pretty happy about that. I'm surprised we're not moving quicker in the right direction with that many people listening to him. By the way, that always bothers me. This has always been an annoying thing
but
for
let's
me.
put that in perspective, by the way, because it's 11 million.
Yeah.
Which, okay, that's a lot.
It's a lot of people.
But there's 330 million
true.
people in this country.
That's
so,
true.
you know, even if you convert or if you can sway 100% of your audience, well, that's only 1/8 of what voted in the election.
But then here's what always bothers me. Now, I realize that most of the media that you consume comes from the left, I assume, but judging by those numbers, which one would you say is mainstream media?
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
Because when we say, oh, the mainstream media is doing this, even Fox does it. Fox criticizes the mainstream media when they've got like 10 times more viewers than all the other media channels.
Yeah.
I've always thought that was kind of weird. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, you have to have someone to blame.
Yeah.
All right, so back to Aaron Rodgers here. On Monday night, Aaron Rodgers gave them another reason to froth at the mouth and to elevate their screams.
Their silent screams.
Yeah, their silent screams. The quarterback told the Manning brothers he reads, quote, a lot of French poetry, and then pointed to at a bookshelf behind him and said he's got Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand over here.
I like how he trolls people, by the way. There was no reason he needed to point at Atlas Shrugged and point it out to Peyton Manning or Eli Manning. There's no reason to do that other than to troll. That's really it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Rand and particularly Atlas Shrugged increasingly over the last decade or so have become favorite targets of the militant left, who say the author in her famous book espouse a me-first ideology, but fans counter that Rand's writings inspire and uphold individual freedom.
Now, what do you think's wrong with the me first, like their critique as it espouses a me first ideology? When I see that, I see nothing wrong with it at all. I really don't.
You can't take care of anyone unless you take care of yourself first.
Exactly.
You can't love anyone unless you love yourself first.
That's true.
Haven't you guys seen that meme on Facebook?
I saw it.
Going around?
I saw it. Yeah,
you can't love anyone unless you first love yourself.
What good, if you're really worried about society, what good are you going to be to society if you can't even take care of yourself? You know, it's like the old analogy from the Taiwanese proverb goes: when you're sitting in an airplane and the masks come down, and you got a child right next to you, what do you say? You say F the child, and then put your own mask on first. Yeah. Because if you lose your oxygen while you're trying to get your freaking screaming, squirming kid to put their mask on, and you pass out, then both of you guys are gone.
I think when historians unearthed that proverb from Taiwan, I want to say that they said, underneath it in the fine print of the scribe, it said this is an appropriate time to punch a baby.
Yeah.
That's what it said.
So I was just reading some of the comments in the group from people who joined by going to goodmorningliberty.locals.com, by the way. They're the ones who talked to us during the show. Some funny comments on here. But Joe made a good point, said everyone yell at me to get vaccinated so they can be protected. How's that not a me first mentality? Exactly. I'm sick of Charlie over here telling me to get my 19th booster. Okay? So he can feel safe.
That's not for me.
That's just selfishness right there.
Nope.
And then someone else in the group, not to be named, said, let's be honest, which of you has done more for society? The child hasn't proved its worth yet. No, but that's really the point there. The me first mentality, it's looked at selfishness. That's awful. But if you actually want to help people, you're going to have to be in some type of good standing on your own. Like, what's the best way? Let's say this is hypothetical. We'll just say, like, I make, what's a good math figure we could throw out here? Let's say I make $2,000 a month, but my bills are $1,500. And my mom, well, she makes like 12 or 13, something like that. She needs some money to pay her bills. And so I could take all my leftover money and just give it to her and help her out, which I probably would. Okay, but then we both just end up staying poor for a long time. But what if I invested that money for a little bit? All right, I focused on building my own wealth first, and then I have plenty of money to not only help her, but to help the whole family and to help the whole community. Or should I just deplete whatever I have that's extra every single month and never build anything at all? That's just a recipe for everyone staying poor for a long time.
When you build your own wealth, you're just going to buy jets and yachts and stuff with it, you know.
And I will pay my mom to build those jets. You see? Trickle down. There we go. Okay, anyway. I got some stuff to put on the screen if you want to go through some of these tweets. It's almost like a dumb bleep right now.
All right, so from Marcus Hayes, he says, Aaron Rodgers brags he has Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged on his bookshelf. Explains everything.
That explains why he's so messed up, man.
Explains why he is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Maybe
it does explain everything. That is why he's so concerned with individualism and doing such a good job. You know, I don't know.
From the Palmer Report, Aaron Rodgers just bragged that he has Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged on his bookshelf, explains all his lying about being vaccinated and such. He's one of those, quote, screw everyone else before they can screw you wackos. People like this are always a danger to others. Screw everyone else before they can screw you.
So is the opposing side that you should allow everyone else to screw you and then wait to screw everyone else afterwards? Yeah. What is that? I don't know what the argument is that they're making.
Yourself before others.
Screw everyone else before they can screw you. That's not a very good way to look at society overall, I don't think. Palmer Report's got some pretty ridiculous stuff out there, but it's a massive page. Once again, they just hate that their individualism. I ain't no fans of it, man.
All right, from Salam Batty. He says, pre-college, I had an opportunity to read Atlas Shrugged, write an essay, and have a chance at $10,000. I thought, easy money, until I started to read it. Long story short, I took out college loans instead of subjecting myself to any more of that drivel. Well, Salam, I'm glad.
Took out loans instead of reading Atlas Shrugged and writing a report on it.
What he meant to say, until I started to read it, and I couldn't understand it.
Just couldn't understand a word. So I gave up because I couldn't comprehend it. And then that's it.
Magoo says, wait until they read Magoo Shrugged.
The new novel.
Yeah.
Magoo Shrugged. Okay.
Even if you don't agree with it, you couldn't read it and write an essay on it? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is some virtue signaling if I've ever seen it before in my life.
It shows, that's maybe why a lot of people are in such terrible financial situations, because they're unwilling to think for a little bit. That's really all it is.
And the dude also reads French poetry.
Yeah.
Like
Rodgers.
Yeah,
not
Rodgers.
this guy.
Not
he might.
Yeah, Body might do
no
it.
idea.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know Salam. Body. Sounds like a body.
All right.
I don't know him, but Rodgers reads French poetry as well. So you can tell the guy probably, Rodgers, has some intelligence, to read French poetry. It's not something that's, most people do in passing.
He's also a pretty good quarterback, which does require you to think on your feet. So it's a pretty smart guy.
Mm-hmm. And you'll notice most of the best quarterbacks are pretty smart guys.
Mm-hmm.
They all have probably an SAT score that's above average.
That was one of the main things that Bill Belichick looked for, was actually how smart the people were that he was picking, not just their stats as far as how fast they could run and everything like that, but he looked for intellect. Because, well, we know why. Because he's pretty good, I guess. Anyway, moving aside from people's unwillingness to consider other opinions or consider the idea that people be individuals, from Maryland. All right. Hogan, which is the governor.
Well, and let's wrap this up by saying what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do is take the moral high ground. That's what they've been doing all along.
Mm-hmm.
By saying they're pitting people against each other by saying, okay, if you believe in individual freedom, well, therefore you are an immoral person.
You're selfish, too.
You're selfish.
Mm-hmm.
You're immoral. Look at us. We advocate for the group. We want, and I think, like Jordan Peterson made a good point of this when he was talking in that GQ interview, when he told the girl to quit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just quit your job. And somebody else probably deserves it than you. Like, you're a white female.
She didn't want to do that.
And she didn't want to do that, of course. Because it's never selfish when they pursue their endeavors at all.
Yep.
It's never about paying for their college. It's never about, their health care or anything like that. It's always about the group, and somehow their moral compass points further north than yours does.
And I can't imagine how that works, because what you're saying is that a group should be a bunch of people who are only there to help other people, but then also that's entirely made up of people who wouldn't take care of themselves. They're reliant on other people who are refusing to take care of themselves to take care of them. You guys see how this chain don't work? Mm-hmm. The dog doesn't float. It just quite doesn't work, because you're relying on everyone to think about everyone else but not themselves, but everyone is relying on that at all times. You just get one little error in your code right there, and the whole thing falls apart.
It's like
it's made up of a bunch of people who can't take care of themselves, but they're required to take care of the entire group.
Mm-hmm.
That just don't make no sense.
It's like the self-fulfilling energy wheel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? The energy can produce enough energy to keep producing the same amount of energy.
Which is not possible.
It's not possible. It never works.
All right, from Maryland.
That boat don't hunt.
The governor declares a 30-day state of emergency